the orbital transit hub of Verelion. 5 always unsettled me, not because of the sheer number of species funneling through its shimmering halls, but because I never quite felt like I belonged among them. The station was a masterpiece of intergalactic engineering, spiral walkways, levitating banners, holographic vendors displaying everything from plasma fruits to antimatter jewelry, but even after 6 months working as a cargo tech, I still felt like a tourist lost in a cosmic mall. I was staring at my datapad, double-checking the manifest for outgoing shipments, when the loudspeaker chimed overhead. Transport Gate 14 now boarding. Citizens of the Union, please proceed. People, humans, scaled beings, furred bipeds, multi-limbed travelers, flooded forward like a river of color and motion. I stepped aside to avoid a passing merchant caravan, and my foot landed on something soft. Soft and alive. A sharp jolt shot through my boot. The creature, or rather, the person, let out a startled sound, a mixture between a hiss and a musical chime. I froze. Slowly, painfully, a blue, serpentine tail slid out from under my boot. Oh no. No, no, no. I stammered as I lifted my foot. She turned, and my brain stopped working. The alien woman was stunning, tall, elegant, glowing faintly like moonlit water, with smooth skin shimmering between pale blue and silver. Her hair was a cascade of crystalline strands, and her golden eyes glowed like suns trapped in amber. She wore a fitted star silk uniform, and that tail, long, sleek, and patterned like shifting nebulae, curled protectively behind her. You, she said, voice rich and melodic. You stepped on my tail. I swallowed. I'm so sorry. Totally my fault. I wasn't looking. Before I could finish my apology, she tilted her head, studying me with surprising intensity. You're human, she murmured. Yes. She blinked slowly, then, much to my confusion, her pupils elongated in excitement. Then, she announced, I accept. I stared. Accept what? She straightened her posture, lifted her chin proudly, and said in a voice loud enough to echo across the boarding gate, Your proposal. What? I choked. Travelers around us turned to look. A few snickered. One tiny avian creature chirped, Humans work fast. I didn't propose anything. I protested. She frowned. You stepped on my tail. Yes. By accident. In my culture, to step on the tail of a Tyrillian female is a declaration of intention. It is the ancient tradition of claiming. So I accept. I will be your mate. My brain nearly rebooted. This could not be happening. But she wasn't joking. Her tail lifted, curling in what looked like excitement. I am Cerisa Valquina, she said, daughter of the Tyrillian High Navigator. I accept your proposal, human. When do we begin the bonding rites? Never? She blinked again, confusion replacing her confidence. You do not wish to bond with me? I don't even know you. This seemed to genuinely surprise her. But you stepped on my tail. That was an accident. I wasn't making a romantic gesture. Cerisa's expression softened. Then she sighed, tail drooping in something like disappointment. So you do not desire me. I panicked. Not because I wanted to marry her. I didn't even know her species' lifespan, diet, or whether she consumed humans on holidays, but because she suddenly looked like I had kicked a puppy made of starlight. No. It's not that you aren't incredible. I mean, you look amazing, beautiful even. I immediately regretted saying that. Her eyes lit up again. So, you do find me appealing. I covered my face. This was spiraling fast. Middle, the unexpected bond. I tried explaining human customs, but she seemed more confused than ever. So, when humans wish to choose a mate, she asked, they do not step on tails? We don't even have tails. She exhaled thoughtfully. Your species is complicated. Trust me, we know. She lifted her tail slightly and inspected it. Among my people, only a chosen partner may touch the tail. To step on it, she shivered. It is the most intimate gesture. My face burned. That was, again, an accident. But intentions from the heart must be considered. She placed a hand over her chest. Perhaps fate guided your foot. I shook my head vigorously. No, no fate. Just clumsiness. She studied me again, really studied me. Her eyes narrowed. You are anxious. Your heart rate is elevated. Probably because an alien royal is telling people I propose to her. She smiled, a warm, gentle curling of her crystalline lips. Do not fear. If you truly do not wish to bond with me, I will honor your customs. But, she tilted her head again. I am curious about you. Curious? I echoed. You apologized immediately. You looked distressed, not defensive. Many species would flee or lash out. You showed concern. Her tail unfurled slightly. It is rare. I rubbed the back of my neck. Well, stepping on someone isn't exactly a proud achievement. She blinked again. In Tyrillian literature, many romances begin with a tail step. It is a trope. That sounded like the strangest cliché I'd ever heard. Before I could respond, the loudspeaker chimed again. Last call for passengers boarding the Celestial Mare, departing to the Kellen Drift. Sarisa turned toward the gate, then back at me. You walk this route often, she said. I have observed you. You've observed me? Her crystalline cheeks shifted slightly, maybe a blush. I navigate through this terminal frequently. You move with care. You smile at vendors. You help travelers who are lost. She paused. I admire that. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. And now, she concluded, you have stepped on my tail. It is fate. I sighed. I can't convince you otherwise, can I? No, a small laugh escaped me. Maybe it was the absurdity, maybe the sincerity in her eyes, maybe that faint shimmering glow around her, but something about her presence was strangely comforting. Well, I finally said, how about we at least talk? Get to know each other before any proposals. Her entire body brightened, literally glowing with excitement. A pre-bonding exchange. Yes. Acceptable. I gestured toward a nearby seating bay overlooking the starfield. Coffee. She blinked. What is coffee? Human fuel. I shall try it. An unlikely connection, we sat at a circular pod table that rotated slowly to mimic zero-gravity drift. She studied her steaming cup like it was a dangerous artifact. It smells bold, she murmured. That's coffee, I said. She lifted it cautiously, took a sip, her eyes widened. Oh. Her voice deepened dramatically. This is strong. Welcome to humanity's coping mechanism. She coughed, then suddenly took another sip. I like it. We talked for nearly an hour. Sarisa told me about the Tyrillian star charts, ancient navigational maps etched into crystalline memory stones that only certain bloodlines could read. She described her training as a navigator, how her species used their tail nerves to sense cosmic drift currents. That's actually amazing, I said honestly. Tell me of humans, she asked. We overwork, we overthink, we overcaffeinate. And we're very fragile. I assure you, she said softly, you do not seem fragile. Something fluttered in my chest at the way she said that. Then she asked, why do you walk alone so often? You appear isolated. I hesitated. I moved here for work. Haven't really made friends yet. You are lonely, she said, not accusing, just observing. Maybe, I admitted. She placed her hand gently on the table. You do not need to be. My throat tightened slightly. This alien woman I had accidentally stepped on was showing me more genuine attention than anyone had in months. And the strangest part? I didn't hate it. The choice eventually, her ship's boarding alarm chimed again. She stood, tail curling around her legs. I must go. Right, I said, suddenly aware of an unexpected emptiness inside me. She looked at me with a seriousness that made my breath hitch. I will not claim you by force of tradition, she said. But I ask you plainly in your human way. She took a breath. May I see you again? I swallowed. I would like that. Her smile returned, bright as a nova. Then I will come back across the drift in 3 cycles, she promised. Will you meet me here? I will, I said without hesitation. She stepped closer, tail lifting. May I offer a gesture of my people? What kind of gesture? A promise mark. Before I could ask, she lightly brushed the tip of her tail against the back of my hand. A tingling warmth spread across my skin. That means, she whispered, I will return for you. And then she was gone, walking into the Star Cruiser, crystalline hair trailing behind like a comet tail. I stared at the glowing mark on my hand long after the ship disappeared into the void. And despite everything, I was smiling. Ending, her return 3 cycles passed slowly, painfully slowly. Every day on the terminal walkway, I found myself glancing toward Gate 14. I kept replaying that moment in my mind. The gentle brush of her tail, the quiet confidence in her voice, the warmth in her strange golden eyes. I kept asking myself, was this real? Was she truly coming back? Or had the entire thing been a bizarre cosmic misunderstanding? But on the 3rd cycle, exactly at the same hour, the station door shimmered open, and she stepped through. Cerisa, her glow brighter than before, her eyes searching the crowd until they landed on me. She approached with graceful steps, tail swaying like a banner of starlight. You came, she said softly. You came back, I replied. She lifted her tail slightly, brushing it against my hand again. Then, may I ask properly, in both our traditions? She took a step closer. Human, she said, will you walk the stars with me? Not as a claim or by accident, but by choice. I looked at her, this luminous, sincere, beautifully strange woman, and for the first time in my life, the universe didn't feel so big. It felt inviting. I will, I said. Her face lit up, glowing brighter than I'd ever seen. Then, she whispered, let our bond begin. And as her tail wrapped gently around my hand, the stars outside the terminal seemed to shift, like the universe itself was acknowledging the start of something extraordinary.